All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the New Orleans Saints. The return man is Hill. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Easy. You're 21. You're good. 5-4, ready.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Breeze on third down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. Now Sproles. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously,
looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Breeze throwing on second down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A CD looking ahead for Philadelphia. They will have a Week 9 bye, and at the midway point, they're 4-4 at 500 after a 6-point win last week against Jacksonville. But that wasn't an easy game. They almost blew that ball game in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they've had their struggles in the 4th quarter this year. Remember earlier this season on the road at Tennessee, blew a lead there and lost the ball game in overtime. Then at home recently against Carolina, 17-0 lead in the 4th quarter, lost that one in regulation. So they absolutely had to exhale at the end of this one and say, okay, we got one. This is...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for Philly. 48 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Sproles. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Josh Adams, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Earlier in the broadcast, Charles, we mentioned the win for New Orleans last week over the Vikings. Now 6 straight wins for New Orleans. Are they a true contender against the Rams vying for the NFC crown?
They certainly are, because they can run the heck out of the football with Kamara and with Ingram. I think their offensive line continues to get better and better, a nice mix of veterans and youth. The defensive front plays the run as well as anyone in the league, and the secondary continues to patrol with the balls in the air. So I think that they are a team that matches up very well stylistically with the Rams, and also mentally. They believe that they're as good as they are, and they want to go ahead and prove it.
Well, we're going to find out this week, because these two teams, the Rams and New Orleans, they go head-to-head Week 9. Breeze going to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. play fake here on first down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On second down, here's Breeze. Room to run inside the 40. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I like the call. Inside the red zone running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On third down, here's Kamara. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. They'll run here with Ingram, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
List 5-7. List 5-7. Ram.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Black, come on. Great.
Wynn's going to try and throw on third. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And the Saints signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
Sammy.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Again, this is Kamara, and he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. On first down, Breeze. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Breeze to throw on second down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. The Saints on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Shotgun now for Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Mike Bennett with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So we've hit it. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
81, 81. Lefty, lefty. Great. Please. 15.
On first and 10, here's Wentz. Flush to his right. And some room to work. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down, here's Wentz. Finding room inside the 40. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. that his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And that is incomplete. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Now Wentz goes underneath for Sproles. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Sunday!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. Now Wentz. And it'll be 3rd down. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar from 8 yards out. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. Room here to run. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On 4.
They go play action here on first down. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Under.
On first and 10, here's Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Ted Ginn. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Lutz with the extra point. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Lutz now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz, eluding the pressure right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Eagles. And even 40 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a first and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Run.
Play action to Sproles. Wentz. Incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35.
Black. Lion. Shorty. Sit.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Throwing on first down is Breeze. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing now is Breeze. On the crossing route, complete. That's Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 50 yards. And the Saints are back within a score. Lutz good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Eagles. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
81.
Wentz now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Hang in there now.
Now Wentz will keep it. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. To throw is Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
5-8. 95-56.
They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Under. We're good, we're good. 5-4, ready.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Here's Ajayi. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. This is Ajayi. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel